So I've been on a journey, a pretty long journey, to seek the truth and reveal the comforting lies that society has told me. In order to be a person, you need to rip off the comfort band-aid and figure out the truth. So in today's video, telling you 10 lies you've been told throughout your life that are comforting but holding you back. Let's get some pain. The first lie is that I'll be happy when I get X. It is what people who are down, unhappy, and whatever tell themselves. They tell themselves that they could change their world if they could just get this one thing. Whether that be a house, a bunch of money, a bunch of sex, or something along those lines. The problem with this line of thinking is that for a lot of these, you'll spend a decent amount of time not getting these things that you want. And so you've basically given up the opportunity to find any happiness in these years of progress towards this goal. But even more important, you won't be happy when you achieve X. This is since happiness is achieved through relationships, social and romantic, and working towards a purpose. Now of course, there are exceptions to the rule. If you're in poverty, then getting a steady job, making 60 grand a year, is going to make you a lot happier than before. But in order to be happy, you need to improve your entire life, not just one section of it. The second lie is I don't have enough time. We all lie to ourselves when we say we don't have time. I was going to record these YouTube videos yesterday, but then I said that I didn't have enough time because I had to do other things, like watch YouTube videos. The truth is that you can make time for everything. The problem is that most people aren't willing to sacrifice certain things in order to make that time. The truth is that if you want to do something, and you don't have time today, you won't tomorrow, the next week, next month, or next year. Because you could do that at any point, but you just keep making excuses for yourself. So either get that done soon, within a day, or forget about it and let it go. The third lie is that money is evil. Say money is evil, dirty, for rich people, for terrible people, is the easiest way to ensure that you yourself is going to be broke. The truth about money is that it's neither good or bad. Money is simply a multiplier effect to whatever the person that has the money is doing. A bad person with a lot of money can do more bad things. A good person with more money can do better things. If you're angry by this, that's probably just an insecure reaction by you. Just think about it for a second. If money was evil, then why can money be used for some of the most important things for your life? Like starting a family, buying a house, getting freedom, a way to use more of your time for other things. The fourth lie is I need a purpose. Now I know I was talking about working towards your purpose earlier in the video, and it is extremely valuable to do that. I'm mainly talking to the people when asked when they're gonna start doing something, they reply, I still need to find my purpose. Here's some information for you. Watching YouTube, scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, all those, you're not gonna find your purpose. In order to find your purpose, you actually need to do something. You actually need to start accomplishing something. A good way to find your purpose is just for a day or two, not really do anything, and just sit in your bedroom, lie down, and just stare at your ceiling or your wall, and do nothing, and think about what your mind thinks. Whatever your mind starts obsessing about, that's what your purpose is. Now this could be to do well in school, start a business, start looking for a partner, any of this. Although one of the most common ones is of course raising a family, so finding a partner and settling down is going to be very valuable for 90% of people. Just sitting on the couch scrolling your phone is never going to give you the aha moment that you need. Saying that you need to find a purpose is just you being lazy. Number 5, it was easier for them. A big problem I see nowadays is people comparing themselves to other people on social media and whatnot, which is very fake and not real most of the time. I think it's absolutely crazy when people compare their situations to other people's and they get down and out about it. Now, I'm mostly talking about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all these fake representations that makes it seem like their life is going better than it actually is. A small bit of comparison can be good because it drives you to do more, to get to the next level and not be comfortable. But when you compare yourself to other people that are doing a lot better than you need to remember that everyone is on their own path. Everyone's life contains highs and lows, and some people that are doing well, they've experienced a very big low before, or they're probably going to experience one in their future. When you compare yourself to someone when you're at one of your low peaks and they're at one of their high peaks, you're just giving a fake comparison. The life that you should be focused on is your life and doing whatever you can to improve yourself. All the time you take thinking about and being sad about other people's situations compared to yours. It's just time that you could have been spent improving your situation in the first place. The sixth lie is I'm too young or old. Honestly, this video is more about excuses that people make for themselves rather than what society tells them. When someone says they're too young or old, they're just making another excuse for why they can't improve their life. There may be roadblocks if you're above or below the age that most people would do the task that you're doing, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. Mozart could play the violin when he was 5, and he's a crazy exception because he was a prodigy. But there's also this person who was 92 named Gladys Barrel, who ran a whole marathon when she was just 92 years old. Only 92. That's it. Just 92 years old. The truth is that the best time to start is now. And any excuse that you give to yourself is just you delaying the best time that you could have done. The seventh lie is to not judge people on first impressions. It's like when people say don't judge a book by its cover, but the cover is what everyone makes their first impression on and has a big effect in the sale of a book. Most of the time, when someone is a loser, they're a loser. Humans have evolved over hundreds of thousands of years to have senses and to make quick impressions on people, whether or not they're good or bad for them. People do a lot of overthinking these days, and one of the best things you can do is sometimes to just trust your gut, because your gut has evolved for hundreds of thousands of years. This isn't really high in insecurity, it's more like shitty life advice. The eighth lie is that everyone is self-interested. I have an unusual connection with this. I live in New York, but not in any of the cities. I live in the forgotten parts of New York. And one of the things I realized is that when I go into one of the cities, people are not very empathetic and aren't very nice. But in more rural areas, like where I live, my neighbors, the first day that we moved in, they made us a chocolate cake for nothing in return. Could you imagine someone in the city doing that for you the first day you moved into your apartment? They wouldn't even know that you moved in. If me or my family ever needed to, we could borrow an item from them to help us on a project. This little anecdote proved to me that not all people are self-interested, and some people have had a good upbringing and just do good things to be good. One of the saddest things about today's age is that we believe in a very pessimistic view of the world, one that leaves people untrustworthy of others and lonely as a result. Being cautiously optimistic will lead to everyone being a little more happy and a lot more trustworthy, and especially less lonely. Ninth lie is that there's someone to blame about everything. Here's a couple of examples. People blaming Asians for spreading COVID, and people blaming the government in the decline of standard of living. Now, while some of it, a large portion, is not related to them at all. I know the whole standard of living thing is gonna get a couple of people ticked off, but I read a lot of history and watch a lot of history YouTube channels, and they've all come to the conclusion that it's more so like a time thing, but you don't really care about that. And the truths of humans is that we always want someone to scapegoat, to blame all of our problems on, instead of understanding that some things happen for no particular reason out of our control. Now, I know this is scary, but blaming and exiling people, canceling them, is not going to do anything to fix the problem. 10th lie, and the most important lie to get out of your head, is that life has no meaning. I say this one for last because this is one of the harder ones for me to write and talk about. Here's a good picture for you to think of. When you're just sitting on the couch doing nothing but eating potato chips, you're causing pain to your family, friends, and partner who have put time and resources into you. Maybe not your friends or partner specifically, but they have put time into you for you to be the best person you possibly could be. By doing what you're doing, you're letting everyone down who loves you. If a parent believes that life has no meaning, then why should they parent their child in a good manner? They won't. They're gonna give that kid a terrible life with a lot of trauma. This viewpoint is especially to stop you from feeling any pain. If you believed that the world had meaning, then you'd actually have to not be lazy and do something. Everybody has a possibility to affect the future, and you denying that is just cynical laziness. Now, if you enjoyed the video or found it useful, make sure to subscribe and like the video. As I'm a small channel, I'm gonna take all the help I can get from you guys. And go check out any of my other videos, as I know, and YouTube especially knows, that they will be valuable.